Hello and welcome back to the Paddle and Fin podcast. I'm your host, Brian.
And I'm Jay.
Yeah, buddy. We got an epic guest coming to you guys tonight. We got Mr. Jason Ricketts from Ohio. He is a brand ambassador for Bio Baits. He is on the American Tackle Company Pro Staff, Power Pole, Jackson Kayak. He's fishing team manager for Loveland Canoe and Kayak out there in Ohio. But most importantly, he's a team member for Blue Sky Boatworks. So Jason is a fan of the podcast, and he heard our Blue Sky Boatworks episode, and he reached out. And Jason, we thank you for that. And he said he'd like to come on and chat about Blue Sky. We're going to talk about some other stuff as well. But we figured why not talk to one of the team guys, get his input. He's got that new Jackson 2-blade prop on there as well. So we're going to hear about that among other things. So Jason, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Jay.
I feel honored and privileged, man. You know, I've been binge listening to your guys' episodes, and then I heard you guys mention that YouTube channel, so I got on there and
Yeah.
binge watch the YouTube videos too.
Right on, man.
So, yeah,
Thanks.
big fan, man. Big fan.
Awesome. Very cool, man. No, we appreciate it, man. It's funny. We get that a lot, like people will find the pod and they'll listen to like the most recent episodes, and then they'll go back and binge through all of them. I know our previous co-host, we call him the Godfather, Scotty Olson. He's like, I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, yeah, I just caught up on all the pods while I was mowing my lawn. I'm like, really, dude? That's what it's come to?
That's hilarious.
you got to mow the lawn to catch up on podcasts?
Oh,
He's like,
man.
well, I've been busy, And I'm like, sure. I know how it is when you're big time now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Busy sitting on his throne.
Yeah.
At at HQ, just staring at Delavan.
Yeah. So, but no, it's very cool, man. So we appreciate you coming on, like we said, and we're really looking forward to jumping into this stuff tonight. I know you and Jay are teammates. You guys have
Yes,
never
sir.
talked before, right?
No,
I
I've
did.
only seen you post a few times, I think, in the team page.
What's
But yeah,
going on over there at Jackson? You
Well,
guys don't
hey.
communicate?
There's a lot of us talking on that page.
yeah.
Some
I'm
more
just-
than others.
Hey, I'm just kidding. Just giving you a hard time.
I'm just modest.
This is what Paddle and Fin does. It brings teammates together, united as one.
Absolutely. Well, he's kind of. I mean, if you want to put it in the rank of things, he's kind of my superior. He's pro staff, right? So I'm a regional. He's pro staff, so he's big time in,
I
man.
don't want to brag.
I mean, but if you need your shirts ironed, I'm the guy, right?
Yeah. Jay is one of my constituents.
Oh, too funny.
You know?
Too funny. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad we're getting together tonight and chatting about everything here. So let's just jump into it. The Blue Sky Boatworks. What drew you to it? Obviously you were on Jackson first, right? And then
Yeah.
moved to Blue Sky. So why make the jump to Blue Sky? And what do you think are the pros and the cons, I guess, in your eyes for the Blue Sky, if you have any cons?
Well, not very many. And the cons that you do have are just kind of minuscule. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So the jump to Blue Sky, it actually came all at once. The offer for Jackson, the offer for Blue Sky. So Aaron had caught notice of what I was doing here in the Southwest Ohio market for Jackson. And just a little backstory: I've been a fishing ambassador for a local retailer here for the last 5 years.
Okay.
And just I've taken over the fishing marketing side of it and built it up.
Nice.
And this year brought on a small team to help us sell a lot of Jacksons in the area. So Aaron Steiger had caught wind of that. He says, hey, man, I like what you're doing. I'm going to bring you on board with Jackson. And I just put a bug in his ear. I said, hey, I know you guys just launched Blue Sky. Keep me posted. I said, keep me posted. Bring me on if you want, and I'll help to blow it up around here. It was like the next day he called me. He goes, hey, man, here's what I want you to do. I said, no problem. So I took it and just kind of ran with it and do what what I'm doing for Blue Sky is what I'm doing for the local real or the local dealer here. It's not any different. I'm pounding out a lot of social media content, getting a lot of exposure, reaching out to people, posting it for sale, getting in people's faces. And I tell you what, man, I've owned, I don't know, maybe 30 different Jacksons in the last 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I can't go to
that's more than
a
Jay.
gas station. Yeah, I've owned a lot. Well, again, with the retailer, I have full access to his inventory, so I can try any boat that I want, and they're all at my exposure.
Don't lie, there. Jay's slacking.
Yeah. Well, you're in what, the big rig now?
I'll just
Jay?
Yeah, I'm in the big rig now.
Yeah. So do you have one boat that you just never let go?
No.
Well, no. Well, I guess no, because I started with the Kusa HD, and then I had the Kusa FD, and then I was fortunate enough to try out the big rig before what's called I guess the final factory model came out, and I was like in awe.
Yeah.
And especially with the E-Flex, the Flex Drive E motor.
Oh yeah.
And then, but then I got on the Liska. So now, and I've always loved the Kilroy. So right now I've got the Kilroy, the Liska, and the big rig.
Oh, right on. Okay. So I have the Blue Sky and the Kilroy DT. And if you know, the DT, they stopped making them. So they are a sought after boat, and that the DT is my river boat.
Do you have the Realtree one?
No, it's a Mahi.
That's so gorgeous.
I know, man.
Like, I love that thing so much. It's not around anymore. Sad.
I can't believe it. Now that they're not around, everybody wants them too. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. With that being said, I think we got a DT at Rocktown, and it's a demo, and I believe it's up for sale.
Nice.
So if anybody's looking for one.
If anybody's looking for one, jump on that because they are few and far between right now.
Super light.
Yeah. For what it is, it's awesome.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, man. So I got offered that Blue Sky position, and then and that was in February. So everything's happened since February. I've taken it and rocking and rolling with it.
Taking off. Heck yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah,
I dig
working hard for him, man. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of hours, but I love what I do.
Yeah,
it's a big passion for it. So
well, pretty soon you'll have Jay's position, and he'll be ironing your shirts.
That's right.
That's right. And then maybe you'll know how to
please. Light starch.
Yeah. And you'll know how to decipher whenever conversation between the DT and the LT. I meant the LT.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah. See,
I'm bad.
Jay's fired. You just got demoted.
That's right. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, jeez. Oh, well, that's super cool, man. So you got in the Blue Sky. So what was your first thoughts? And then, let's just run through the boat. What's your pros and cons? How do you got it rigged up and all that good stuff?
Well, I think my first thought was it's not as big as they said it was. Right. So
that was
hear
my
about
thought.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear about it and they're like, yeah, man, it's 4 feet wide. It's just under 14 feet, and you're just thinking this massive, massive boat, and you get it and you're just kind of like, that's only a foot wider than a big rig. It's really not that big,
Yeah.
But it's big enough to where you feel like you're standing on a sidewalk.
Right.
It's still amazing. So when I got it, I was kind of relieved that it wasn't as wide as I had pictured it, because my first thought's like, I have a trailer, how hard is it going to be haul that around and haul additional boat and stuff, but I can haul that in my DT on the same, side by side and not worry about it. So the initial thought was it wasn't as big and it wasn't as heavy as they made it out to be too.
Sure.
So when you go around the front and you grab those handles, it's like,
yeah,
it just lifts. You're like, wow, man.
Yeah, it's balanced. It's balanced on those wheels. Well. Yeah.
Yeah. So compared to like picking up the front of a Hobie Pro Angler 14, which I got to experience for the first time just this last weekend, it's like, man, I'm going to have to start bodybuilding a little bit.
Yeah,
here.
I did the same thing this past weekend. We had an older Hobie 14 demo boat, and guy took it out. He actually went home with it, but I had to walk that. Jay knows where the launch is from the kayak shop. I had to walk that thing down there on a cart because it wouldn't fit on the big kayak trailer. And it was like a 55-year-old dude And he's like, "Oh, I'll take it." I'm like, "Dude got to the bottom of the hill, and that was it." I walked it.
Yeah.
I walked it a block and a half to the ramp, but yeah, those things are beasts, man. Beasts.
They're
And
heavy boats.
I remember. So, you had mentioned you went through and binged our YouTube, and I did that unboxing video. And I remember when we went to go over to the one warehouse to unbox the Blue Sky, I saw the box, and I'm like, this thing is huge.
Yeah.
Like, huge. And then we pulled it out, and I'm like, this isn't that bad.
No.
And then we had it at the fishing shows this winter, and I was like, yeah, this isn't too bad. And then when I actually took it on the water, I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost wanted it to be a little bit wider.
Yeah.
To be honest.
A little
Just
bit
to-
wider. Yeah.
Just to accompany the seating,
Yeah.
and the movement,
Yeah.
But then again, then you're really talking about a floating platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A floating dock with
Yeah.
a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So I was really impressed with it, and I guess if we're gonna go in the order of things, I was impressed about how well you can rig it and how many different rigging options. So
Yeah.
the first thing I want to do is being in the kayak game for so long now, I have lots of leftover stuff to rig kayaks with,
Sure.
rod holders and stuff like that. So I just went to work on it, sitting there staring at it for a while, as we do. How am I going to do this? And how am I going to, I think you made the trailer video where you said you were sitting there just staring at your trailer. It was at the podcast you were talking, and I think you said your wife came out. It's like, what are you staring at? And you're
Yeah.
like trying to figure out how to, yeah. So kind of the same thing. I'm staring at the boat and just looking and looking. It's in my garage. I'm sitting on it in my garage, kind of looking out, thinking, where am I going to put my fish finder stuff? So I actually came up with a fish finder setup that you could take the whole thing off under 30 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And move it to a different kayak. And I did it with leftover parts, and the seat bag comes on the side of the seat on the Blue Sky. So I wrote a blog about it, and Blue Sky and Jackson actually published a blog. So if you go to Blue Sky owners group and check it out, there's the blog there, or go up on Jackson Kayak's website. You can see the blog and see how he did it. But yeah, the whole thing comes off in 30 seconds, and which is important if you have multiple boats. You want to be able to tear everything off and go as fast as possible. So all the different rigging options, I would say, is probably the next thing I was impressed with. And then that's not getting it on the water, because once you get on the water, it speaks for itself, and you understand why that it's a cut above everything else. You know what I mean? It's so unreal, it's unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Oh, you don't be saying that.
Well, it's there may be some shots fired in this podcast, and that's okay, because we've been in an industry where it's been just dominated by another competitor, and now we have something that's above.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's next generation personal fishing platform, and it's amazing, and it stands out. It's the evolution of our sport, and this is it. So.
And that's something that we mentioned in the Blue Sky episode that we did. It's just healthy conversation. What one guy likes, another guy's going to hate, and so on and so forth. So, shots being fired, whatever. It is what it is, It's like, some people just have to get over it, you know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest struggle right now with it being introduced. What was it, last year? I think KBF approved it. I know there's a handful of local clubs that don't allow it, which fine, that's their own thing, but like I said in that episode, I believe it was Chad Hoover said it, is kayak fishermen are fishermen first, kayakers second. So with a platform like the Blue Sky, I mean, that just screams fishermen, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and that's the thing too, like from my point of view, like obviously I'm a huge bonafide guy, and
I can't tell.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Which are good boats. I mean, the bonafides are
tattoos
good
and
guys.
everything. So, but
do you have a bonafide tramp stamp? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
no, I just have,
Yeah.
I just they have the one slogan, live the story you want to tell. I got that tattooed on me, but
but not on your lower back, though.
No,
right?
no.
All right, we're
No,
good.
no. It's
We're
on the
good.
bicep. But you know, to each their own, and you know, I'm sure you deal with this being down at Loveland. You know, when I'm working at the kayak shop, you know, I tell everybody that comes in the door, look, it doesn't matter what I like, what you like, what everybody that walks through this door likes is going to be different. You know, everybody's going to, each boat's going to have its pros and its cons, and it's all going to be what you feel comfortable in. And a lot of people get that, some don't, you know. And I'm in a position that's much different than you guys, you know. I'm not on a boat team, you know. So I can be in different boats. A month and a half ago I was in the Old Town Predator. You know, I fish out of Bonafides, was on the Blue Sky. I think I've taken Jay's big rig out. No, I haven't. Yeah, he keeps holding out on that for me. But I've been in new canoes.
Trailer real quick.
So I've been in a lot of different boats, and I will say this right now, and I'll say it publicly. Like, the Blue Sky blew me out of the water to the point where, like, I think I told Jay, I'm like, might have to sell a couple Bonafides to get a Blue Sky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna talk about it, but just wait till you try the new.
Yeah.
It's gonna blow. You're gonna be like, oh, I mean, I knew within like 3 rotations away from shore. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's rattled the market. It's taken it. I mean, it's gonna. I don't want to say it's gonna take it over. We don't. Obviously, the market demands, or the market does what the market does. But I think once a lot more people pull the trigger on it, they're gonna be like, man, how can you go back to a traditional fishing platform? And you know, I saw the KBF post. We know the post that Blue Sky got hated on, right? Yeah. And I know you guys touched on that too. And you know, you're thinking, man, you know, Blue Sky's getting tore up on this, and you know, a few of us guys we're just kind of sitting back like, what an awesome day for Blue Sky, because what is better marketing material than having a 200 comment post on KBF talking about it? And I don't know if we can ever get access to the Google Analytics, but I guarantee there are some Google searches firing off during that thread, and a lot of people are like, there were some people who hated on it, right? But I bet you there's a lot more. I bet you at Blue Sky there's a lot more people that were like, man, if I could afford it, I'd get that boat.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't get more replies than what I said.
Well, Aaron told us to lay off of it, you know.
I know.
And I was like, okay.
And I was like, too late.
Too late. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think I may have made this reference once before, way back on an old episode, but there was an interview with David Letterman and Marilyn Manson. Not a huge Marilyn Manson fan, but David Letterman asked him, you know, you got a lot of people that hate you right now, like, you know, this and that, and they were talking about success, and he says, well, I think I'm successful because people do love me and they do hate me. If everybody loved me, that's not a measurement of success. I make people talk, I make people think, and I think that's what Blue Sky's doing right now. So kudos to Blue Sky for, you know, blowing that door open and opening up a discussion, doing something new and innovative. I mean, you know, you look at a lot of kayaks and, yeah, they're all kind of different in a way. But, I mean, let's face it, in the kayak fishing world, we've gotten away from your traditional kayak. Yeah. I mean, if you want to define kayak, it's a sit-inside, paddle-driven boat, you know.
That was going to be my next point, too.
Yeah.
It was good to go into the definition and in the origins of what a kayak is. You're talking about a single craft, sit-in craft that was made of wood and sealskin that, you know, people up north used to go hunt in. Yeah. And you look at what you're doing now, you're sitting on top of a 3-foot wide plastic john boat with a motor on the back of it. You know, it's and people want to look at the Blue Sky and say, well, that's not a kayak. Well, you're right. It's not a kayak. Let's clear the air on that at all. It's even when you buy it and you look on the certificate of origin, and you open it up, you got your hull number. It says catamaran. It's not a kayak at all.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But it's just a catamaran style personal fishing platform, and you know they voted in KPF, and we're ecstatic about that, right?
It's a by Yakamaran, if you will.
By Yakamaran, yeah. So it's there's a lot of pros and cons about it.
Sure.
But even as per individual, right? So, folks, we're not just catering to young guys, right? We also were catering to people who may have disabilities, may have bad knees, and of age have bad backs, and they can't sit down inside of a kayak and get up out of a kayak, right?
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. So, even in some of your sit on top kayaks, it still have an issue getting up out of them. With the Blue Sky, you don't have that. You're sitting into like a real comfortable office chair, and it's easy to get in and out of, you know.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. And me and Jay saw that firsthand this winter at the fishing shows with that Blue Sky on display. There was a large portion of older gentlemen looking at that Blue Sky, you know, because of they're not sitting way down. They can pedal instead of paddling, the motor options there. Obviously it's not like a regular boat. So you got low maintenance, easy to haul around, things of that nature. So, it was quite interesting because I thought it would have been the opposite. I thought it would have been a lot of young guys like, check this cool thing out. And the young guys went to the traditional kayaks looking at the big rig, the Bonafide, the, new canoe, the, big rig, whatever, Kusa. And all the older guys were checking that out. And it's funny because my old man saw it at the Chicago Fishing Show. And ever since then, man, it's like nonstop. Like, when are you going to get me one of those? When are you going to get me one of those? And then I just took him out on our demo Mother's Day weekend. Was that Mother's Day that just passed? Yeah, I think so. And fell in love with it. So now I get twice the amount of phone calls about when you're going to get me one of those. So it's cool. But, my old man's a big dude. He's got knee problems. He pedaled it around just fine. Caught a few fish in like the first 25 minutes of being on it, and it's like, that's cool, because now I can take my old man out when I want to go out kayak fishing. We don't have to be in a boat, so that's cool. That's a cool option for me, and I dig that, so.
Yeah. But it's nice, man. It comes with its own hazards too, right? So you kind of have to be mindful where you step.
Sure.
Because, when you're kind of sitting into a cockpit on your traditional kayak, and then you're up walking out on a platform, you just kind of be kind of careful where the pedals are and when you got around your feet, stuff like that, because you could trip on it. So
I got a little silly on one couple times. You're like, oh, there's so much. Well, like gotta watch. Oh yeah, that's right. Those are
the pedals right there. You gotta watch me. So I took it the first time I took it on, I guess the Ohio River's big water. So I guess the second time I took it on big water was the Michigan, Ohio tournament up at Indian Lake. And it was nasty, rain and nasty mess up there. And I was pre-fishing this little some backwater over by a marina. And, I was getting goofy on it too. I was like, man, this thing's awesome. I'm reaching over and I was reaching to get something out and I leaned up to step across and tripped over the pedal and almost went in. I was like, whoa, man. I was like, all right, it's time to calm down. That's, kind of a reality check there. Just because you're on something 4 foot wide doesn't mean you won't go in, right? So, it was funny.
Yeah, I got some video I got to edit and put together when I took the demo out here, and Jay's like, let's see that cast. You had your GoPro up or something, and I did some like just stupid casting move and like had my back leg up and like was just being dumb on camera, and then as I'm doing that, I almost tripped on the pedal and ended up falling backwards into the seat. Thankfully, the seat was there. If not, I was going swimming. That's for sure. So that'll definitely make its way into the YouTube video. But Yeah, it's kind of funny, but
then you got Drew, who stands up on a seat in wind and rain and chop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
he doesn't count.
Yeah,
that dude is so athletic, it's unreal.
He's like 100 pounds soaking wet, you know, and he's like, you know, no offense to Drew, I love Drew, but he's like 5 foot nothing, you know.
You know, I'm just jealous. I mean, geez. I mean, you know, Shane Coover too. I mean, we're not, you know, he was on his what's it called, a Wildy Attack, like 140 or whatever, and he's like standing on that high seat they got. He did a handstand. I'm like, 250-pound guys make me want to puke.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, real men weigh like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm every bit at 220, and you won't be seeing me doing handstands on anything.
No way, dude.
Yeah,
no, I'm good on that.
I mean, I think the biggest dude I've seen do that is probably JD. JD did a headstand on a Bonafide SS 107.
Oh, wow.
And JD's what? Probably 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's a taller dude.
Yeah.
He just made the list too now.
Yeah.
Yeah. JD made the list.
Oh, that's funny.
Too funny. But yeah, so I mean, so you talked about removable depth finder. Do you got a motor on your Blue Sky?
No motor. I like the pedal drive on it, and with the prop there, I'm good for right now. You know, I'm waiting for the Flex Drive E to come out. I think we all are. And you know, I had one. That show April 27th, 28th that we did here locally. That's when we had our tournament, the one that Brad Hicks won.
Okay.
Jake, our team sales manager, brought down his Blue Sky, and he goes, "Hey man, check out this E-Drive," and he put it on there, and I was blown away about how quiet it was. Like, so my buddy's got a Bonafide. It's got a Torpedo on the Bonafide. He turned it on. I was like, dang, I mean, that's awesome. That thing was loud.
Yeah,
you know, I was like, wow, it's really loud. And I'm like, Torpedo's going to be in trouble, you know, when this Flex Drive E comes out, because it is quiet. It's like a whisper quiet, and you crank it, and it, you know, it is night and day difference. Like, man, this thing is awesome.
So your Blue Sky with the new prop on it, when you're just doing a regular easy pedal, what are you getting miles per hour?
With my stamina, I'm every bit 4 to 5.
Jesus.
Yeah, It's no problem at all.
I'm getting 4 on my big rig.
And this is with ease, right? So we might as well dive into that. We just touched on the subject. Okay, so we're, you know, pre 2-bladed prop.
He's
2-bladed
one now.
Yes. Can I order one Blue Sky, please?
Why stop there?
So, exactly. Why
Make
stop
it
at
2.
You get a second mortgage. We can take care of it.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, we can go over the specifics of the boat. It's, you know, almost 14 feet long.
Yeah,
4 feet
right.
wide. It's a sit on top platform. All right. So we talk about the hull design. Your traditional kayak has a lot more surface area that it's laying on the water. Okay. It's a lot more friction going across the water. So it's going to be a little bit slower than the Blue Sky. The Blue Sky, the keels are so sharp, man,
Yeah.
and you have less friction and less surface area dragging across the water. It just cuts and glides. It is unreal. It is unreal. So when I've pedaled the traditional Jackson sit-in sides with the 3-bladed prop, right? And it wasn't that it would wear you out, but it did take some effort, right?
Sure.
I mean, you had to get your pedal legs, right? You had to get your pedal legs.
Oh, yeah.
So, which is a real thing. I mean, with any kayak you get in, pedal or paddle, you're going to have to get in some kind of shape willingly if you want to use it. I mean, it is what it is. But especially pedal, it's a lot of cardio. So when I first got the Blue Sky, I was like, whew, I was huffing and puffing, like, man, I am out of shape. Like, I am one donut away from, you know, not being able to do this thing, right? So
yeah, sounds like me. Yep.
Yeah. I got a package in the mail, and I said, hey, what is this? You know, I wasn't expecting anything, and opened it up, and I was like, oh man, you know, the Blue Sky guys had looked down upon me and sent me a 2-bladed prop.
Nice.
And you know, I was told keep it on the DL, and I put that bad boy on there, and I was like, I wonder how this is going to do. And I put it on the water at our Loveland tournament, and I was like, what in the world? Where is my boat, and who replaced it with this? Because I'm telling you, it smokes. And I'm going into a headwind in rain. It's blowing right in my face, and I'm catching dudes across the lake.
That's
right?
crazy.
I'm catching them and you go so fast. You're pedaling, and you're so used to pedaling with a lot more resistance that your legs are automatically moving faster with less effort. So the thing is it's just gone. It's gone. Yep. It's unbelievable. And the keels of the pontoons are busting through the waves like you would not believe. So if you look at the big rig, it's kind of got a wider front, right?
Yeah.
Which means that it's going to have a wider area that has to kind of bust through the chop. If you look at a pro angler, same thing. It's got kind of a blunt front, right? Well, you got two knives cutting through the water. It's like, two daggers. It's kind of no brainer, it just slices right through it. Even this past weekend I was on, what is today? Monday. So yesterday I was at East Fork Lake. A lot of pleasure boaters, a lot of jet skiers out there. The wind was ripping, just ripping. And I was with two other buddies on Hobies, and my buddy behind me, I stopped and let him catch up. And he goes, man, I'm watching you on that thing. And he goes, I am just blown away. He says, man, I can't believe how well it does in the wind and how fast that thing is. He goes, I absolutely just cannot believe it. He goes, I have my rudder on my Hobie turned all the way. And he goes, the current and the wind's doing what it wants with me. He goes, I can't keep up, Huh. And I said, what a major victory right there.
Yeah.
In a market that's dominated by Hobie, what a major victory that was.
Yeah.
And it's going to get out. Right. So people are going to see that. They're going to hear like this guy talking about it, and they're going to see it. They're going to get on it, and they're going to be like, I've already got guys messaging me wanting to sell their boats. Hey man, I'm going to sell this. What can you do? And, how do I get one? And say, hey man, we'll talk about it. Sell your boat, get the money, and come talk to me.
I was going to say, you guys sell used boats down there at Loveland?
If it's a brand we cover, yeah.
What about Bonafide? You carry Bonafide?
We're a Bonafide dealer down there.
All right, I got two I'm bringing you.
Yeah. But, hey, Jay, didn't it just blow your mind, though? Like, because, obviously we're seasoned, FD peddlers.
Right.
And then you get this prop. And like I said, when I pulled away within the first few rotations, I was like, oh, my God. I was like, it was the prop.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all it was. It was the prop.
It was the prop. Yeah.
It's like, I remember I went clear across this lake. I went clear across a 700-acre lake, like with ease. Okay, there's a little huffing, but I was going 4 mile an hour solid, like all the way through, and I was like, I could never do this on the old 3-blade. There's no way.
No, it's night and day difference. And again, you can get that 4 mile an hour. Excuse me. You can hit 4 mile an hour in the worst conditions.
Yep.
It's pretty unreal. We had at some points, when I'm on a boat and I want to test something out, I go all in. Right, I'll try to take it in the worst conditions. So there's big boats coming by and stuff. I was turning into the wakes, and they're at 3 foot high sometimes. And so it would come out and it would nosedive into those wakes, which I was intentionally doing. It would go in that water. The water would just dissipate, and you'd ride through it. And I was like, oh man, I'll never own another kayak. This is it for me. Like this is what I want to fish out of. And it's so phenomenal. That 2-blader prop is unreal for a 39. We can actually, Jay, you can be a witness to this. For $39, 39 and some change to upgrade to just to buy a prop versus other companies that charge you $1,000 to buy a whole new drive.
Yeah.
To get that kind of a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like $300 too, just for a prop on.
Exactly.
$40 to it's like, so anybody's listening, if you have an FD, get the 2-bladed prop. I am telling you, and Jason's telling you, it'll change your whole outlook on the whole drive. I can't even. We just can't explain it enough. It will just blow you away.
Best $39 you ever spend. It's
just insane how much of a difference that piece of plastic makes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, buddy. You heard it here at Paddle and Fin, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
somebody's going to be posting their Bonafides up. You check Craigslist tomorrow, folks. There's going to be a couple of Bonafides on there.
No, I don't think I'll ever get rid of them. But there will be something being added to the garage in the very near future.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's already in the works. So
Yeah,
but
gee, what it could be.
yeah, me and Jay have had extensive conversations about it, but yeah, it's super impressive, man, and it's really hard to describe the experience you have on that boat on the water without actually physically doing it, I think.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing is guys need to get over it and just go out there and try it. I mean, just go to a demo day and demo it and just see what you think. I mean, obviously, selling Blue Skies for both of you would probably be a good thing, but we're not trying to, but just before you knock it, try it is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're just saying, like, if you want to improve your experience that you already have on your FD, get the two-bladed prop. Now, if you're a newbie to it and you've tried the other pedal drives, just try one of them with the two-blade. I'm telling you, it's a contender.
Yes.
I'm not going to say it's a leader. It's definitely up there now. The FD, the drive itself, in my opinion, Jackson's done a great job about constantly upgrading everything.
For sure.
There's probably still other things that are going to be upgraded in the future, but this is the one thing now that is going to, it's just going to, turn it all for everybody.
We use that term game changer a lot, right? I mean, it's a changer, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I know, and you know what, we'll say, me and Jay are on the team. Sure. Yeah. But we've also been in other boats. It's like I've even been in Hobies. It's like Hobies are nice boats too, but this is something that nobody is going to see coming.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's okay to like it. Just because there's some negative heat on it, it's okay to like it. You don't have to fall into that pressure of, it's not a kayak. And to revert back to what we're talking about, folks, a lot of what we got today are not kayaks.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's different. It's innovative. It's new and next generation type fishing platforms. And this is the beautiful thing about our sport too, right? Is that we allow things like this and growth and innovation into our sport, man, and it keeps things interesting and it keeps it competitive, And
it'll drive the market for other innovative things. Because I was saying too, and I think you've probably seen, there's other stuff that's coming out that's kind of similar.
Sure.
To what the Blue Sky is.
Yeah, I did see that. I can't remember the brand, but it was.
Some prototypes that are coming out.
Yeah, it's like a Blue Sky knockoff, pretty much. So
seems like that happens with every boat. Some kind of knockoff. But
they're not like Zero Kayaks or nothing.
Yeah. What is the Pella Hobie? The Pelican Hobie that came out? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Or with the Hobie Bonafide.
Yeah.
Like that one too.
That's
a great.
Isn't that Robert Field's boat? What's the name on that one?
Lightning Kayaks.
Yeah, that's it. That's the Bonafide Hobie. Yeah.
Is what
Bonobi,
it is.
Man.
That's what they called it. It was Bonobi. That
Bonobi. Yeah.
Bonobi.
Obi-Wan Bonobi.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Too funny, man. Too funny.
Well, we gotta have it. We gotta have the competition, because that's better for consumers in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So this was something I just thought of. So what are you doing for tackle storage rods, rod holders? Are you using the rod holders on your boat? Are you using a black pack with rod holders on it? All the above, or
all the above, man. So one thing I found that with the built-in rod storage on the side, that flip up, right? If you use a heavy action or even some medium heavies, you have to slide the rod into the hole versus through the little slits, because it won't actually fit. So you may need to sand that down to get them to fit sideways. But if you just put them in, it's kind of hard to show you, without the boat. But if you just kind of slide them in, rod butt into the hole first, then it'll fit just fine. So that's something they could probably touch on. Just make those gaps a little bit wider so you can get a heavy or medium heavy in there. So I did use those, and then I have a J crate.
Okay.
So I've carried a total of 7 rods on it before. Of course, with anything that you ever buy from a Jackson, you get a ton of accessories, including rod holders, right? And you get your Orion your Orion tumblers, right?
Yeah, buddy.
And your cup holders and all your flags
Mine's
and stuff
not
like
as
that.
fancy.
So I used the 2 Yak Attack and Mega Rod holders that came with it. I used the 3 that were on my J crate, and then I used the 3 that were on the flip up fishing rod holders, and it worked out pretty good. And it's a paddle holder, and it holds your stakeout pole. So if you have a stakeout pole there, you can put the stakeout pole, 3 rods, and your paddle all in that little staging area there.
Nice.
So
yeah,
you can get a lot of gear.
I always forget Jackson makes a J crate, which is, the Yak Attack version of the
Used
blue
to.
pack or blue.
They don't make it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quit making the J crates. So
Yeah, they got like the J crate lows and
yeah,
back end.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but they're great. I got 2 of them. I have 1 in each color, so I can for different boats.
so not to backpedal here, but when you were talking about your depth finder, do you mount that on that front rail there?
No, well, yeah, I do.
Okay.
1.5 ram trackball screwed down on there. And hey, 2 backpedal with a 2-bladed prop is butter.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to go backwards on that thing, it's butter. It works tremendously well in reverse too. But yeah, man. So 1.5-inch trackball, right?
Okay.
Screwed down on that front mount right by my pedal. So if we're looking at the pedals, it's going to be right here.
Okay.
I use a Lowrance Elite TI 9, so
Okay.
9-inch, and I use a Ram fish finder mount. So from there, I like the Ram transducer arm. That's one of my favorite that I've always used. I really like it. And then I have an 1.5-inch bolted on trackball that goes onto the front fishing platform. And so my transducer hangs over the front of the platform by the pontoon.
Yeah.
So the pontoon's cutting the water out of the way for the transducer.
Gotcha.
And then my Nocua 10 amp hour battery is in a bag that's connected to the fish finder. So I undo the ram arm here and ram arm over there for the transducer mart, and the whole thing pops off 20 seconds probably.
Very cool. The reason why I brought it up is I saw, and I thought this was cool, Eric Jackson, shout out to EJ. He's got his mounted, so on the Blue Sky chair, there's like a track rail for the armrest of the chair, and he's got it, I think it's mounted in that track, and his depth finder's like right there at his side.
Yeah.
And I saw that
really awesome
on one of EJ's videos, and I thought that was super cool. I thought that was a slick little option. So it's right there to his side, kind of out of the way, not out in front. But, yeah, EJ's a slick character.
He is a slick character, man, and he's obviously the brains behind everything, and
Sure.
he's got a good crew that he recruited to help him out there. So we definitely love EJ. I initially when I first got it, I had it set up the same way.
Okay.
I just didn't like the transducer cords.
Okay.
Where I could trip over them, and
Gotcha.
I like everything really clean. I don't like a lot of garbage all over it's me. I'm OCD like that. I want everything to be perfect and neat and in its place, and the less cords and the less trip hazards and the less things I'm going to get a hook into. And no, I want it all out, tucked up, out of the way. And that's one of the things that the Blue Sky does beautifully, right? So you have 4 compartments, 2 on each left and right pontoon, front and back, man, and you get storage for days, man. I have Plano tackle boxes that go down inside there. I have a full dry suit. I have my hog trough in the back. I throw a cast net. So yesterday I was throwing a cast net and 20-something mile an hour wind with 3-foot chop, pitching it out, trying to get some shad for some catfish. So I carry a cast net, man. I carry tools. I carry sunblock. I carry line, P-line or Seaguar, whatever I want for leaders, tackle, you name it, man. I carry wet wipes and soap, right? So if I'm catfishing that day and cut bait, I don't have to smell it all over my hands when I don't eat something. So it's like, and if you're a camper, right? If your guy likes to get on the water and do some camping, you can put a tent inside there. You can put your sleeping pad inside there. You can put camp gear. I mean, pans, everything. Like, it is unreal how much storage it's got.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I dig it. Yeah, I saw that set up by EJ, and I didn't think about the cord thing. But now that you say that, that kind of makes sense. I don't know how he had his ran. I just saw the depth finder there off the side of the chair. I thought it was cool. Yeah. But what you're saying makes sense. I wouldn't like that either. So.
Yeah, it's too much. And if you're twisting a seat around, you already have to kind of worry about the rudder cable, right? Yeah. So can you imagine snapping your transducer cable? That's not cool. Yeah. So he's go ahead.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be cool if they kind of adapted, kind of like the freestyle bikes have with the brakes, like for that
like a gyro, the gyro.
So you could turn it 360 completely and never lose it.
Man, that would be awesome.
There's an idea. EJ.
That's your $1 million idea.
There you
right
go.
there, Jay.
Bridget, write it down.
That's a great idea, actually. So the 360s, being able to control your rudder at 360 degrees is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? So how many times you have to pull your paddle out and kind of correct yourself, and you're just like, man, you got to stop fishing and get yourself in a position with this. You just turn your seat, man, and the rudder controls are like a jet, or like a helicopter controls. You just sit there and do it. So that's pretty awesome stuff, man.
Very cool. Very cool. We got anything else on the Blue Sky boys?
I would say, like, you got any stories about like your roughest day, like on the water, and like where, like one of the fishing kayaks would have lacked where the Blue Sky shined?
That would have been yesterday at East Fork. That was the roughest condition I've ever had that on any type of water, and I live right off the Ohio River, and I took it on the Ohio River, and sometimes there's some chop, but it was nothing like it was at East Fork yesterday. And East Fork Lake is a really big lake down here in southeastern Ohio, and I've never seen it that rough before, and I was really blown away. And I'd never worried about losing my gear. I never worried about my boat going under. I never worried about anything. The hatches were dry. Some people worry, it's like, oh, those hatches are right there. If water comes over, they'll leak. Or I pulled everything out and it was fine, and it was, like I said, I was going into really deep wakes and just trying to abuse it. I mean, I was trying to abuse the boat. I wanted to see what it can do, and I was just blown away. So the roughest day, Blue Sky shared that picture that I posted on Facebook. I think they did that today. So if you go on the Blue Sky official Blue Sky Facebook page, you'll see some of the chop that I was in.
Oh yeah, I saw you standing on it.
Yeah, standing on it. So I'm standing on it, and if you zoom in, you can kind of see some of that chop was maybe 2.5 feet. I'm standing on it with my hands in my pocket, like, what's next? I mean, what else you got, Lake? Because this is not affecting the Blue Sky at all, So that was definitely the roughest condition. And kind of revert back a little bit. It's the only boat I ever had where I could take it somewhere and people would stop me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
If I get gas, people like I had gas. I was getting gas. Somebody pulls up with his kids. He's like, man, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that thing and how much does it cost? And I'm doing a sales pitch. I'm trying to go fishing, but this guy wants to know about my boat, right? Yeah, so cool, man. I'll tell you about it. And then yesterday when I got to the lake, I backed it down to the water, got off the trailer, and I got my buddies. They're over on the other side waiting for me. And this lady comes walking up. She goes, what is that? And it's just like, it blows my mind about how much attention it gets. Yeah. And so when it was docking yesterday, it was time to get off the water. My buddy beaches his and I beach mine, and I get up, grab the front, and took it right to my car because, right before I landed, I put the landing gear down.
Yeah. And
so I was able to just jump off, grab the wheels, and I was gone right to my trailer. Within 5 minutes, I had it loaded up, So I don't think we ever touched about the retractable wheels. So you can have that thing perfectly flat on the ground and just put the wheels up and pull the retention cords and lift the back of that up, and the wheels will go into place on their own. You don't have to have a buddy to help you do it or anything like that. So, the fact that they have the built-in Boondocks, I guess if you're going to put a name on it, Boondock landing gear, but they're great. My buddy's like, hey man, where did you get those at? How much they cost? I said, this comes with the boat, bud. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It comes with everything that you need for $36.99. Like, what else would you need to put on it?
Right.
So yeah, it's great. It's not a lot of negatives about that boat. Couple tweaks, I guess I would say.
Sure.
But not a lot of negatives.
That's every boat, man. Every boat needs a couple tweaks.
Yeah, for sure.
That landing gear, stellar. I mean, when I took it out, I just backed it into the water with the wheels down, jumped on it off the dock, walked around to the back, popped the wheels up, off I went, came back in, dropped the wheels down before I got to shore, got off the boat, walked around, picked up the handles, straight to the trailer I went.
That easy.
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't have been easier. Whereas like yesterday, I'm fishing Madison chain and I got to pull everything off my boat, then drag it 50 yards through the grass to get to my truck because there's 10 yahoos trying to pull their big party cruisers out of the water, and I'm coming out of the kayak launch because I don't want to wait an hour. So yeah, right. It was just a pain. Whereas that landing gear would have saved me probably 25 minutes worth of time.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
I agree.
Guaranteed.
I hate unloading and loading my gear. I hate it so much, dude. Man. That's the worst part. I think tweak number one would probably be the actual wheels. I'd like to see more like maybe an off-road upgrade.
Sure.
Kind of like the beach carts, have more inflatable tires. Because in sand, they will kind of sink down in sand. You got to muscle a little bit. But
sure.
On gravel or pavement or any typical boat ramp, it
wheels
does
like a
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right on.
So, good stuff, man.
Cool. Well, so right before we started, you were talking about bio baits with us, and I think this is something we want to touch on. You're brand ambassador for them?
I am. Yep.
Okay. So it was kind of interesting. It's a fish oil infused bait from what you had told us. Why don't you walk us through, they look really slick, so if you guys want to look these up, just look up bio baits. But just kind of walk us through the baits themselves and what the idea behind them is.
Well, the idea is to clean up our waterways. Your traditional soft plastics, 150 years degradation period. Degradation meaning how long it takes that bait to break down, typically. And you got to think of how many soft plastics we use and how many we lose in waters every day. Some of your more well-known manufacturers, the soft plastic you use one or two times and they're shredded, and you come back with half of what you got, or the fish it's inside the fish and stuff like that. So what BioBait did is they came out with their own unique blend, and it just puts the degradation period just over a year and a half, between a year and a year and a half. So that's going to fully disintegrate, and it's fish oil infused. And it's beautiful. It's a nice, soft, fleshy bait, good action, and they printed. They actually screen printed the bait itself, and it makes it just look phenomenal. I mean, it looks real life. Like I showed you guys the smelt, and it's unreal.
Show us again. Unreal. Show us again.
Grab it.
Yeah. For the guys watching on the YouTube,
I forgot about the YouTube part. All right.
And I won't lie, I forgot to hit record on the YouTube part, so the first 20 minutes it's just going to be all audio. But
oh, that's all right. Can you guys see that?
Oh yeah, it's coming in.
Is it coming in?
Yeah,
there it goes. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Perfect.
Yeah. See that?
Your face so bad, it's hilarious.
Yeah. So that's it's great, and it's real. It's just it's kind of like there's a go. You got your channel for your hook right through there, but it's real soft, man. It's real fleshy, and it's got a smell to it. It definitely has a smell to it. But I think the bass like that. I'm not going to taste it.
Be like Deadliest Catch, the Northwestern. They bite the head off a herring before every season. I mean,
absolutely.
You bite the head off of one of your lures before every fishing session.
You'll never see me do that. No way. So these things are actually they're manufactured here in the U.S. too, unlike some of our other baits from big bait companies. You get them from overseas, but it's a U.S. made product, so you got to love that, man. Red, white,
absolutely, blue. Absolutely.
So if you're fishing waterways, man, like scenic rivers, if you're a smallmouth lover like I am, and you love your local waterways, just try them out, man. They're good. They're good baits. They're good paddle baits. They have crawl imitation stuff like that. So look them up. Bio baits. They're great.
Very cool.
Tell them Jason sent you. Yeah.
Nice. Well, with that being said, you said you're a smallmouth guy, and you're starting up this. It's going to be an annual tournament, right, on the Little Miami River, and it's going to be smallmouth only.
Smallmouth only. The first ever smallmouth river tournament in our area. So
That's
I think
cool.
I think on the entire river period, I've never in my life have ever heard just a smallmouth only tournament. We're going to run it the 28th, the 27th and 28th. It was a two-day event. The 27th was a big party. We had Natalie Hansen from NRS, regional sales rep, come down. She had a tent. We had a lot of local vendors. So it was like a kayak swap meet, a tackle swap meet, and a lot of other different vendors there. We had, live bunch of raffles and giveaways. We gave away a kayak, and stuff like that. So, and that was the kickoff our tournament. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate, so we had to move that tournament to the lake instead of the Little Miami River. But we're going to run it back. Running it back. It's looking to be September 14th. Is a preliminary date that could change. So it's we're going to do 60. I think we're going to open it up to 63-mile stretch of Little Miami River.
Interesting.
And yeah, man. So we're going to turn people loose, and we're going to put a no minimum length on it. And the reason we want no minimum length, well, I take that back. I think the minimum on a hog trough is 8 inches. Am I right about that?
Yeah. So
we're going to make it 8 inches. Just because that's for scoring purposes. That only makes sense. But we wanted to keep it low, and so we can attract new anglers. We want people that's never competitively fished, I guess, if you want to put that term on it. We just want to attract all kinds of new anglers and people to come out and give it a try.
You said September 14th?
September 14th. Yeah, man. You gonna come down? Hey, man, I'll show you the water, bud.
We've been talking about doing a meetup in Ohio. We got a bunch of guys in Ohio that listen to the pod, so shout out to all the Ohio boys, and gals.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about coming out there and doing a little meetup. That might be the time to do it, Jay.
Be the time to do it. So there's a local kayak fishing trail here, and I believe the way I planned it was that you can submit your catch to our tournament, and it would count for theirs as well.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
So I have to double check the date. I think that was the date I wanted, was September 14th, because it's Buckeye Kayak Fishing Trail, and you'd be able to submit your stuff for them too. It's a smallmouth tournament going on. So
we've heard about the Buckeye Trail through, I think it was Justin Marshall.
Yeah,
that told
good
us
guy.
about that. Yeah, he's a good dude.
For sure.
He's my homie, even though I blew him off for what was that? What KBF event was that just passed? St. Clair. Yeah, we were both supposed to fish that, and I got shafted at the old job. So, yeah, that's all right. We're gonna fish one day, my man. So
yeah,
but
you guys can come out and do that. That'd be perfect. You have a lot of local Ohio guys here. Kurt Smits and Brad Hicks and a lot of guys. So
yeah, heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Are you going to be rocking the Blue Sky in that one? Or are you
I have. Yeah, I got pictures.
It's big enough for it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it shallows up. Little Miami River shallows up pretty good. I mean, you will drag in a few spots. But there's sections where it's 4 inches and there's sections where it's 15, 20 feet. But for the most part, consistently, you're looking between 3.5 to 3 and 6 feet. Normal. Yeah. So, and it does fine. I went upstream in it, and it did okay. So, yeah, one of my pictures, if you look through my Facebook, I had the sea foam, and I'm standing up on it, and I was right out front of the shop on the river, and it was only 3 feet deep there. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Very
cool.
But
if you're a brand new angler, should I say, hey, take it on the river with rapids if you've never been in a kayak or anything like that? Probably not. I'm seasoned, so I know how to maneuver the boat and get it to work for me.
Sure. So, very cool.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. You got anything else, Jay?
Nope, just a cough. I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Well,
any touch points?
What's that?
I said, do you guys have any more touch points you want to go over about it? Or we cover all of our bases pretty good?
I think we covered pretty much everything, man. Why don't you give a shout out to all your sponsors, pro staff positions? Let people know where they can follow you on, social media, stuff like that.
Absolutely. So Instagram, you can find me at jricks_angler. and Facebook, Jason Ricketts, and I believe my Facebook profile picture is the Blue Sky. You'll see me on my Blue Sky. So if you ever have any questions about it, man, shoot me a friend invite, shoot me a Facebook message, look me up on Instagram. I'm on social media almost. If I'm awake, I'm on social media answering some kind of questions or some kind of engagement. So yeah, sponsors, man, we want to shout out to Micro Power Pole. Love those. Perfect shallow water anchoring system, right? And then Jackson Kayak, Blue Sky Boatworks, of course. And we have Bio Baits, American Tackle Company. If you are a person who likes to make your own custom rods and need the components, American Tackle Company is great for that. They also just bought out a huge crankbait manufacturer, so they're going to be pumping out a lot of crankbaits there.
Very cool.
Yeah, man. Coyote Polarized. If you want some great polarized glasses that float, you don't have to worry about your $300 pair of shades going down into the drink. You want to give them a look, you know. So yeah, man, great stuff.
Very cool. With I just thought of this with the power pole. You got 2 of them on the back of yours, or just one?
No, I had just one.
Just one.
2 is a little overkill. Yeah.
Does Drew have 2 on his?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Fancy Pants. Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yeah. He's probably even got a 3rd one.
Yeah.
Yeah. One for the front too, right?
Yeah.
Freaking Drew, man. Very cool.
He's gotta have something to spend that $20,000 on.
Yeah. Oh, he's
yeah.
been killing it. Well, it was $20,000 down there, and then didn't he win another tournament or place high up or something? I think it was another KBF tournament. I don't know. Drew's just crushing it, man. Rightfully so.
I got a recommendation.
Sure.
A recommendation if you guys are on a Blue Sky and you're looking for a good vest, the NRS Raku. It's new for 2019, so it's the same style vest as a Chinook, but it's got a flat back. Yeah. I highly recommend that flat back. It's a way more comfortable because you got a higher back on the seat versus your traditional kayaks where they kind of got a medium size seat, medium height seat. The Blue Sky goes all the way up, and it's way more comfortable, man. Yeah, way more comfortable. So definitely check them out. Their new vests they're off the hook.
Yeah, I've seen them. I think we got some down at Rocktown. I'm sure Loveland carries them too, right?
Yeah.
So.
Loveland Canoe and Kayak. We definitely want you to visit them. Check them out on Facebook and check out our Facebook fishing page, Loveland Canoe and Kayak Fishing. So if you're in the Cincinnati market, anywhere from Columbus on down, really. I mean, we're the only retailer here that sells them. We'll get you taken care of, man. We'll put you on the water. We're located right on the river. So if I want to try out Blue Sky, cool. Come down. I'll put you on the water right then and there, and you can try it out.
Very cool.
So.
Yeah, same thing out here, man. Northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, western Indiana, Rocktown. We got one Blue Sky demo, and I think we got 2 in stock for sale. So in right 2 different colors. So if you guys are interested, come on, check them out. If you're in Ohio, go see Jason.
Absolutely.
If you're out this way in Illinois, Wisconsin, come see me. I'll take care of you.
I want to reiterate that too. I want you guys to look me up and to have a conversation with me about the boats too. All the podcast listeners out there. So if you don't feel intimidated. Oh, he's a team guy. He's better than me or whatever that stigma comes with that. He's an elitist.
Yeah.
It's not the case, I'm here to help you guys out to make the most educational buying decision out there and to educate you on the product. And that's my job. So don't feel that intimidation at all. Look me up, man. Hit me up. We'll have a conversation just like we did tonight, man.
Absolutely.
It's the first time any of us ever talked, and we're just talking about something that we love.
And that's what we always promote here, man. It's just getting people on the water. Don't matter what boat you're in, whatever. Right. Fish don't care about that. It's what you're comfortable in and suits your needs for what you're going to be doing. So,
but if you're going to be in something on the water, we want you to be in a Jackson or Blue Sky.
Hey. Oh wait, those are going up for sale.
You spelled Blue Sky wrong.
Bonafide.
Bonerfied.
Yeah, that's what everybody calls it, bonafide. No, very cool, man. Again, thank you so much for coming on tonight and taking the time out to chat with us. So With that being said, guys, check out the Paddle and Fin website, paddle, the letter N, and fin.com. If you got a question or comment, feel free to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Hit us up on our social media, Facebook, Instagram. It's at paddle, the letter N, and fin. Used plastics recycling program, guys. Address is in the show notes. I have to update it. It will be updated on this one. Our good man, Eric Richards, has got a new shop. So I'll go through, update the address. We appreciate everybody reaching out and taking part in this program. All these baits get melted down, made into new plastics, going to Heroes on the Water. I know I got to give a shout out to Richie Lockery and those guys down at the Moyak series. Those guys, I think the last time Richie told me he's got like over 10 pounds of plastic just chilling. Yeah. So every tournament they're collecting baits, stuff like that, and they're going to ship them in. And he even reached out. Richie's such a good advocate for this program, and he's such an awesome dude. He reached out to, I think it was the MLF guys were down there fishing by Table Rock, and they were going to collect all the plastics from the pros and get those mailed in. So huge shout out to Richie. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, if you guys want, you could send us a voice message like Brad Hicks did, played at the beginning of the last episode. Shout out to him. Thanks for his kind words. Be sure to go check out his podcast, his new podcast, Yak Legion. I know they were chatting with Kurt Smits this week. So that'll be super cool. I think you're coming up on there too, right, Jason?
Yeah, I'll be on there next week.
Yeah. Yep. They're an Ohio-based thing, but you know what? Like it was good stuff. I listened to their first episode. It was good conversation. I'm not familiar with the other dude, but I forget his name. But super cool. Zach Corelli. All right.
Yep.
Super cool dudes, down to earth. Just real genuine, good conversation. So shout out to those guys. And I think that's it, gentlemen. Did I miss anything, Jay?
Check out John Graves Kayak Fishing. He's another podcast guy here in Ohio. Does really good.
Yeah.
John Graves, American Tackle Pro Staffer.
I meant to check this earlier. I got to check something real quick before we end this podcast.
He is a good dude. We fish with him all the time, man. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I want to say, too, that my Savior Outdoors, my rods are American Tackle.
Yeah.
I want to say the Bushido.
Bushido Blank, yeah.
Actually, those are my pike rods.
Yeah, they are awesome. And the microwave guide systems.
Yeah.
So for the eyelets, man, and it's a world of difference. Yep. You gotta watch your casting, how hard you cast, because it flips through them guides a lot smoother. Yeah. So you don't need to cast with as much force. But yeah, they're great.
I've built some rods with those microwave guides, man. They're pretty slick. So I was checking. We're almost at our 1 year anniversary. I thought it was now.
Wow.
It's June 24th was our first episode aired. So we're getting close.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's almost been a year. It's crazy.
You guys are doing well. Yeah. You make a good couple. I mean, it's.
Hey, I
mean,
you guys have the. I turn this off.
Oh, jeez, man.
It's a great podcast, man. Brad's like, it was talking about, hey, man, Paddle and Fin use this. I was having some trouble with Brad's podcast. It kept shutting off. I'm like, man, this app's crashing. He goes, well, that's the same one, Paddle and Fin. I'm like, Paddle and Fin? And I looked you guys up, and I was hooked. I'm like, done. Every day. I'm listening to something. Not to spill the beans, but Brad actually messaged me when I was on the way home, and he's like, dude, I'm having issues. And I'm like, Skype, bro, Skype. I told you that. So, but he should have his kinks worked out. But, it's crazy, man. I know me and Scotty started this thing just like on a whim, and it's crazy how it's grown. We got this kind of cool little tight-knit, I wouldn't even say community. It's a family and of listeners and supporters and stuff like that. And we've got to talk to some pretty cool people this year. Like Jason,
talked to Drew, JD, Christine Fisher, Steve McGee, Alex Fulgaria. Like, it's kind of crazy, man. Like, the broad span of folks we've talked to throughout this year. So it's kind of crazy. So we'll have to do something. I was thinking about that on the way home, and I'm like, man, has it been a year already? Like, holy Nikes. But, so we'll have to plan something for that.
Hey, man, paddle and fin overnight river trip. Let's make it happen. We got a couple of campsites on the river, man.
I think Jay just got replaced with another Jay.
Hey, we've talked about getting replaced. We just add more co-hosts.
That's funny.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, sorry.
The awkward silence.
I gotta.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I guess it's over."
I gotta. Just got a text message, and that's another big announcement I got coming up. I'm gonna be joining up with some other forces to do something cool. So we'll talk about that in the future. But with that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks again, Jason, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. For you new listeners, new episodes every Tuesday. Until next time, tight lines, smooth paddling.